Yo, yo, good morning, good night, and everything in between. It's Jay. I guess this is what they call me. But yeah, I got story time, and it takes place from May to June. So it's like maybe less than a month of stuff. Anyway, let's get right into it. So there's this event at school, kind of like an event at school, and it was called Senior Sunset. That's where everybody gets like together and just shows up and has a vibe. And I showed up and I kind of had a vibe and hung out with friends and stuff. But there was after party and I went to the after party with a few friends. And yeah, the party was kind of buns. I'm not even gonna say kinda. It was ass. All right, it was ass, straight ass. And whoever hosts that party, you know who you are. Don't ever host parties again. You're trash at hosting parties. Anyways, so me and my friends left the party about an hour later, and we walked, and we saw this car pull up, or I saw this car pull up, I guess, and there was three females in there. One was driving, another one was in the passenger seat, and one was in the back seat. And I recognized all of them, but I recognized the one in the back the most. And I was like, I know that person. That person follows me on Instagram. And yeah, they asked me how the party was, and I was like, there's no fried chicken in there. And there's actually no fried chicken in there. So yeah, if you have no fried chicken at your party, you're not hosting a party. That's all I gotta say. So yeah, I started up on a story later that night, like at least the person in the back. And yeah, I was like, I don't know what I said, but like it was something about fried chicken in the party, and I was like, yeah, we could host a better party than that. Fried chicken function. That's what I said. So that conversation continued into like the next day, and she really left me a reaction on my message. She left me a reaction on my message. So the conversation's over at that point. If someone texts you and they leave a reaction on your message, then the conversation's over. Like, you can't say anything to. They can't double text. It ruins your ego. It loses aura. So I had to stop there, but I had to swipe up again on something else she posted or something like that. I don't know. I said something else, but we ended up talking a lot after that. We ended up seeing each other at the Disneyland trip that the school had, and I was somewhat shy, right? We saw each other, and then I went on my phone because I'm a shy guy at heart. Whenever I see people, so yeah, I went on my phone. She let her mention like, "Oh, why didn't you say hi to me?" And I was like, "I'm a shy person," and then I'll start opening up to you, later down the line, and I did. Spoiler alert, I did. But yeah, after Disneyland, we texted, and then the week continuing during the week. My voice freaking cracked. Anyways, continuing during the week, we saw each other at grad practice, said hi, That's when she claimed she liked me, like starting to like me, and I'm like, okay. But yeah, after grad practice, I bought my friend a Chromebook charger, and I delivered it to him, and I see her and one of her good friends in the line. I see them look at me. I'm pretending like I don't see them, but I see them. They're looking at me and they're like whispering. They're like gossiping, like how females gossip and stuff. Like they're looking at me and they're like whispering to each other. Now I'm like, what the hell? What the fudge was that? I was like, all right, let me try it again. I was like, what the hell? And yeah, I gave my friend the charger, I guess. And he never paid me back, by the way. I hope you know you're stupid and you should pay me back $20, by the way. Anyways. So yeah, they're looking at me and they're talking. And I'm like, what are they talking about me for? What are they talking about me for? So I'm like confused and stuff. But, I just went home, continued on my day. And I believe we were, still texting after that. And, we don't see each other until graduation, after graduation. And yeah, I met up with her. I out of the blue, I just saw her and I went up to her and I was like, "Yeah, you're a man. You should go up to her and stuff." And I did. So I went up to her, shook her hand, hung out there for a little bit. I was trying to find, my family and my parents and all that stuff. And yeah, I waited there for a little bit and I couldn't find them. So yeah, I was like, I'm gonna continue finding them and shook her hand after that, and then continued on, found my family. And mind you, I had no phone at the time, so I was texting her off my computer and a tablet I was borrowing. Okay, I was borrowing a tablet from someone, and I was texting her off my computer. So mind you, I am a down bad person. I am a down bad person. Okay, I would do that. I would text you off a tablet and a computer if I wanted to. Okay, shut up. Anyways, so after graduation, we're talking, just texting, calling sometimes at night, and that's really the biz, kind of like an everyday thing. We're just texting every day, and that's really it. Then comes the day we get our diplomas. So the day we get our diplomas, it's like from 10 to like noon, I guess. So we're talking, planning it out. So she ends up pulling up in front of my house, and she lets me drive because I asked, like, oh yeah, can I drive your Jeep or whatever car you drive? The car I drove was a Jeep Cherokee. It's a nice car. It was a pretty fun car to drive. I missed that car. If you're watching, I missed that car. Anyways, so yeah, she let me drive. Got out of the car, hugged her. The first hug. Hey, the first hug is the best hug at the end of the day. That's all I gotta tell you. But yeah, we got into the car. I drove around. Saw one of my friends, said, honked the horn at him, and then, did the flight emote. That's really it. And then we drove to my other friend's house. I gave my friend a call. She did not answer, okay? She did not answer. And I'm like, come on. You're missing the great moment right now, and you're not answering the call? You're not coming outside? You're weird. It's like, get out of here. So we got out of there, went to school, hung out. Wait, we didn't hang out first. Nah. We got our diplomas, and we hung out in the car after because she was waiting for her friend so she can get her nails done. And yeah, nails are cool at the end of the day. I don't mind if you don't have nails, but like, nails are cool. They're nice and sharp, and they feel good. Anyways, I wouldn't wear nails though. That's just me. I wouldn't wear nails. But anyways, hanging out in the car. We got our diplomas and stuff. She's holding my diploma in my hand with my full name and like proof that I actually graduated high school. So that's how much she cares about me. I'm figuring out, right? She has my government credentials in her hand. That's a government credential right there. So yeah, we're in the car. She has my diplomas. We're just talking, and I'm trying to make a move, a little move. I'm trying to make a little move. So I stick my hand out first, like I'm trying to like grab her hand, right? And then she was like, or we were just talking about her nails. It was like awkward or something like that. It was very awkward. I'm never doing that again. But yeah, her nails were there, or they weren't there, but like we were talking about her nails, and she's like, "Ooh, don't look at my hand. I got my nails on." And I was like, "Oh, your nails." Wait, I ain't nails. I mean, like, your hand looks fine, like, without nails. You don't have to get nails, But, yeah, she's like, oh my gosh, I love my nails and stuff. Like, but yeah, that's besides the point. So, yeah. And then I reached out my hand a little bit later. Like, I would say, like, 5 minutes later. I reached out my hand. She grabs my hand, and, like, we start holding hands, dude. Like, oh my gosh, dude. That was one of the best things, like, emotionally, somewhat. I felt like something going through my body when she like held my hand and started caressing it. So like something's going through my body, and I'm like, I'm feeling good. So yeah, we're just holding hands, talking. We're getting in that mode. And then yeah, we just been doing that, talking and all that stuff. Like it really felt like a call we had, like we're calling in real life type ish. I don't know, but. Yeah, we're holding hands. Her friend arrives. Actually, nah, we're not gonna get to that. But before her friend arrives, we drove around like the city a little bit, drove into some neighborhoods, and then we went back to the school. And then her friend comes. Okay. And her friend's cool. Her friend does nails. Shout out, to the nail doers, I guess. So her friend comes, and yeah, I don't know what idea her friend got of me driving her car, but I know it was an idea of like, oh yeah, she's talking to him. She is freaking talking to him. She's doing something. I don't know, but yeah, we get her friend her diploma, I guess, and then we walk back, and then yeah, we're driving back to my house because she wanted to get her nails done by her friend later that day, and yeah, drove back to my house, and while I'm driving, I grab her hand, like we're holding hands. What's my dog doing? Chill out. Anyways, so yeah, I grab her hand. We're like holding hands while I'm driving, right? It was one of the best feelings I ever had in my life. I'm driving a car and I'm holding hands with a girl. Think about that, right? Think about that. That's a satisfying feeling, right? So yeah, we're doing that. I get home and you guys are gonna hate me, but I got out of the car and I was like, bro, you gotta do something. You gotta do something. I'm talking to myself. You gotta do something. So I was like, hey, I got one more question. And I was like, can we kiss? And then she said, yeah, come here. And I was like, yo, I don't know what I'm doing. And then she was like, it's okay, come here. And then, bro, we got one little peck on the lips. And I was like, dang, my first ever kiss in the world. I'm like, dang, like, I'm really a man now. Like, I really just grew up here. Like, that was amazing. So, after that, I went back to my house, and then we talked later. And I was just telling her how, like, astonishing that was, how good it was. And then, yeah, it made me a different man. So, next day, let's skip to the afternoon of the next day. So we're texting and all that stuff, and then I went to softball practice the next day because it's the last practice of the season that I played in. So, hey, don't diss me for playing softball. It's a nice sport. Shut up. Anyways, she ended up pulling up to the park I was at, to watch her brother play baseball. That's what she told me. So, yeah, over practicing. I got my field taken by a team of softball girls, and I hope they won, because if you're gonna take a field, you might as well win the next game, right? So, yeah, they better have won. They better have won the game. But yeah, I'm going to batting practice with a few of my teammates, and I see her walking. When I tell you, my heart dropped, right? My heart dropped. My heart freaking dropped. Okay, my heart dropped. And then I saw her, and she's like, "Hi," and then I was like, "Hello," or "Hey," or whatever. And then we hugged again. And then, yeah, and I went my way. She gave me some turbos, right? She gave me some turbos, and I started coughing after. I'm never gonna eat turbos again, by the way. They're good chips, but it reminds me too much of that moment. So, yeah, never eating turbos again. Anyways, so yeah, I'm walking towards the batting cages because that's where we're relocating to, so we can get some practice in. And then she's going, to the nearest baseball field to watch her brother, right? And then I really wanted to see her, so I kind of ended my practice a little bit early to come see her. And then we met up at the bathrooms. Outside the bathrooms, by the way, okay? Don't get any idea, you losers. Anyways, we meet up outside the bathroom. And then we're sitting on the bench, and I'm sticking my hand out again. She grabbed my hand. We start holding hands again. And then we're just talking for a little bit because she's on limited time, She's on limited time, unfortunately. But yeah. I ended up getting another peck, okay? Another peck on the lips, okay? Don't get me wrong, that was also good, okay? That was also good. Anyways, I felt good after that moment. I'm excited. 2 days in a row, we get 2 pecks, 2 days in a row. So that I'm chilling. I'm like, I'm good now. I'm good. I'm actually getting into something for the first time in my life. I feel good. I feel great. Anyways, we go to that night, or I don't know. Fast forward to the next day. Fast forward to the next day. Okay, she's at Knott's Berry Farm. I'm at home, I guess, and yeah, she said she wanted to meet up that night because she was gonna come back from Knott's Berry Farm, get her Jeep, and then try to go to my house at nighttime. So yeah, hung out with some friends that day. because I wanted to really pass time because I had nothing to do that day, and I wanted to pass time because every time I hang out with my friends, the time goes by faster. So I hang out with my friends till like 10 p.m. I sprint home. I freaking sprint home so I could at least get home in time, so I can, get ready. But I really got ready in pajama pants. But a shirt and pajama pants, okay? Mind you that. I was in a shirt and pajama pants. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So she pulls up in front of my house at 11 p.m. at night, okay? 11 p.m. at night. She called me that saying she was here. I went outside in my pajama pants and shirt, okay? It's a crazy combo for, meeting with someone at night. Don't ever do that. That's my advice to you. So, yeah, I get in her Jeep. I'm in the passenger seat, which is unfortunate because I really love driving her Jeep. And, yeah, we're just talking for a little bit. And then she's like, come here. And I'm like, okay, this is it. And then we start going ham. We started making out, okay? We started making out. And when I tell you, it felt freaking great. It felt great, okay? Like, she was really putting her tongue in my mouth, okay? I'm gonna admit that. She put her tongue in my mouth. And I never done that before. And I'm like, what the hell, okay? That's amazing. And then we stop, okay? We stop. And then I'm like, round 2, question mark? And then we just go in for round 2, okay? Round 2. And then, we stopped after that. And then, like, she's kissing all on my face and stuff. And I'm like, damn, what the hell? What the hell? Is this really happening? Am I dreaming? Am I really actually getting some action right now? Anyways, so yeah, after that, we're just, chilling in the car, holding hands and stuff per usual. And we're just talking a little bit. And then she had to go. And then I'm standing across the street because I got out of the car, sat across the street. And then she was like, come back. And now coming back across the street. And then I'm standing outside her car window. And like we go at it again. I'm standing up. She's sitting out in her car. She's pulling me inside the car. Through the window. She's pulling my face through the window. And we just go ham again. And then we just probably do it one more time. That's like 4 times we just made out. Like, damn. Anyways, that was one of the best things I ever had in my life, okay? Mind you, I haven't gotten any action like that before, okay? So, like, going to this was like a special moment to me, So, yeah, after that, I go home and I'm freaking celebrating, bro. I am celebrating. Like, I just won a championship, like the NBA Finals or like the Super Bowl or something. I am celebrating. That was one of the best things I ever had in my life. I could tell you that right now. And, yeah, we called that night and we talked about how immaculate that was. And, that's really it. And then, we're talking, texting. We're getting more in depth and like how like we like each other and like what's going on, and we're just being cool, I guess. But yeah, here's the sad part, man. Fast forward, maybe I would say. Well, let me look at the date real quick. Fast forward, maybe like 4 or 5 days later. Like, we're texting. Everything's going good, by the way. Everything's going good, okay? We're still texting. We're still, like, talking and stuff. I voice cracked so hard there. But we're still talking and all that stuff. And she said she was going to be gone for a while. And she's going to hang out with her family. And I'm like, okay. She's going to hang out with her family. I'm going to be doing my own thing. So we're good. Waiting till that night, text her again, call her again. Like, the per usual, right? The per usual. So, I'm streaming that day. I'm streaming that night. And I get notifications from Instagram. That's my friend, not her, right? And I'm like, damn, like, where's she at? It's been hours and hours and hours. And then I'm like checking and stuff. And the next day, I am blocked on everything, I tried calling. I tried, FaceTiming, seeing what's up. And nothing happened. Still nothing's happened to this day. And, I ended up going to a friend's house to, calm myself down because, like, what the hell, bro? What the hell? How you just gonna make out with me less than a week prior and then block me? Nothing went on. What are you doing? What's my dog doing? Anyways, how you gonna do that? It makes no sense. You know, um, I still don't know to this day why she did that. It hurt. I think about it at night sometimes, but I'd be like, damn, like it was really good. Life was really good. A month ago. But yeah, that was unfortunate because, you know, I'm getting blocked. Out of nowhere, and I did nothing wrong apparently. I kept asking her, am I doing anything wrong? Am I doing anything wrong? She's like, no, you're good, you're good. So, yeah, she blocked me. I tried getting a hold of her again, so she can't say I didn't try getting a hold of her. Um, and yeah, she blocked me. That's it. It's over. I couldn't get over it for like the next few days, probably to this day. But yeah, that's basically the story time. How things led up. I don't even know, bro. I don't even know what happened no more. So yeah, that's the story time, man. I hope you enjoyed. It's kind of sad now. I might start crying for like 6 minutes after this video. So, I don't know. It still hurts to this day. And to her friends, right? To her friends. Here's a message to her friends. Why would you let her do something like that? Why would you let her do something like that? I know how nice you guys are. You guys are very nice people. Why would you let your friend do something like that? That's some crazy stuff, okay? Anyways. Thank you for watching, and hopefully you understand. Hopefully you understand. Don't trust certain people, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, don't trust certain people. And yeah, I'll catch y'all later. Peace!